Mike Zweifel back here today on WEKZ AM 1260 and FM 95.5 for To The Point. Please be joined here on this finally Friday. We're getting another update from the Greene County Leaders Class of 2022-2023. And a pair of ladies in studio with us here throughout Greene County. Let's start coming from Astor Assisted Living, Sales Marketing Director Amanda Gerber, taking the time. Amanda, tell us a bit about yourself. Obviously, first and foremost, thanks for coming in. Happy holidays. How long have you been with Astor? How long have you been here in Monroe?
Well, thanks for having us today, Mike. I have been with Astor for 16 years now, just about 16 years. Grew up in the Monroe area, moved away for a little bit, and as Monroe is known to bring you back, it brought me and my family back. So we've lived here now for almost 20 years. So.
All right, fantastic. Got to ask you right off the bat then, Greene County Leaders, is this something you've been looking to get involved in? Did somebody inch you and push you in, or how did you get involved in this year's class?
No, it was something I was really interested in being a part of. I had actually applied pre-COVID, and then everything kind of stopped after that. I did the online classes that they were doing last year with, being civil in our community. So this year when they were back to normal, I applied right away and was very excited to be accepted.
All right. No stranger to radio though, right?
No, done a lot of radio ads with Judy Wool for Astor Assisted Living. So
well, fantastic.
Great to work with.
Glad to have you in here. I said I knew you for somewhere when you came in here today, so I'm glad we got that sorted out in short order. I really appreciate you coming in, Amanda. Looking forward to chatting with you. Ashley Geisler with us here as well with SSM Health Monroe Clinic, Food Service Manager. Did I get that right, Ashley?
Yes.
All right. Tell us a bit about yourself. You from Monroe originally? How did you get involved in this year's class? Tell us a little about yourself.
Sure. So I'm originally from Fort Atkinson. My family has a dairy farm there, so really enjoy that farming community. And I think that's something that really makes Monroe feel at home for me is that ruralness and agriculture background. I've lived here for about 18 years and been with SSM Health Monroe for just about 16, same as Amanda. We have 3 boys, so we're really involved in sports in the community and development opportunities for the youth, continuing to grow that. My husband coaches a lot of the youth sports in town, so as much as we can do to give back to that is what our passion is.
So I'm guessing with 3 boys, a lot of trips to work then after hours.
Hopefully not. So far, so good with that. My oldest is almost 13. He's a little bit more cautious. Now my middle child, he's 7. And he continuously does bring us there, not for sports, for jumping into couches and breaking his arms. He likes to pretend he's Spider-Man, and that keeps us on our toes.
It's got to be something with the middle child. Mine's the same way.
Yep.
So, all right, fair enough. Well, let's get to talk about Greene County Leaders here a little bit. Amanda, let's start with you. Where did you guys spend Wednesday here?
So Wednesday, we took a full tour of Monroe. We started out at the Ludlow Mansion and then learned a lot about the Ludlow Mansion, and it's just beautiful. And then we moved on to the Greene County Human Services, had lunch and listened to Bridget Zimmerman give a presentation there. And then from there, we went to the SSM Monroe Clinic and had a tour. And then from there, we went to the UW Extension and listened to Luke Smetters and Trent Henning talk about the new developments with the YMCA.
All right. So you've obviously been working in Monroe for a number of years, as you pointed out, from Monroe. So was there a lot of new stuff involved in this tour, or was it kind of neat to see behind the scenes of some of these groups?
Yes, especially at the SSM Monroe Clinic, getting to go behind the scenes and see where the doctors work. You know, we go into those office patient rooms. But you never know what's on the other side of that sliding door. So we got to go back there and learn about the food management and also the cardio rehab clinic there as well. So that was also very neat to see behind the scenes.
All right, fantastic. Ashley, same kind of question for you. Obviously, a stop. You go every day there at SSM Health. What was kind of your big takeaway then here from all these places, Ludlow, the Human Services, UW Extensions? What was that like? Not from Monroe, but you've been entrenched in this community now, as you mentioned, for about 16 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really interesting, like Amanda said, to kind of go behind the scenes to some of these places where you go as customers and you see the outside feel, but to go inside there, especially Ludlow, to get that history there and watch them renovate it back to its original form and bringing those historic landmarks back, stripping walls and getting back to that original brick or the history of the jockeys that rode the horses and the trophies that are there and the uniforms that are being showcased there, touring the mansion itself and seeing the rooms and the beautiful archways, and just it was so beautiful to see that and really have the time to enjoy that.
Anything specific or anything that's kind of stand out on the SSM Health Tour? Anything you didn't already know?
I guess I pretty much knew about that. So it was really cool to hear Amanda say that she really enjoyed that tour because, working there for almost 16 years, I get embedded in that culture and what we have there and what we present and that wholesomeness and that tranquility. So to hear others enjoy that and we can share that with them is really humbling.
All right, fantastic. That's Ashley Geisler. We also got Amanda Gerber with us here today talking about Greene County Leaders. Their latest installment was on Wednesday here in Monroe. Amanda, let's go back to you. You guys, you made a lot of tours, learned more about the community, also learned more about leadership. What was kind of some of the themes or some of the things you guys worked on at some of these stops?
One of the big things that we talked about this session, we talked about how there's the staffing shortage and how a lot of businesses are going to have to look at different ways to pivot to be able to continue to grow and be successful in our communities. So that was really interesting to, kind of think outside that box, to keep things going. We also talked about, different ways that our community can be more welcoming to new folks that do come to our community, with our different cultures and things like that in Monroe, in Greene County.
Kind of a perfect then spot for you in your position there at marketing and sales, and obviously at an assisted living facility. Shortage of workers is right up your alley. Then this one probably you paid a lot of attention to then, right?
Yes. Lots of things started going on through my brain of what we could do to bring all that together. So yeah.
What was kind of something that surprised you overall throughout the course of the day? Whether it was a speaker, whether it was a stop, or whether it was one of those kind of sit down and chats type of thing. What was a big takeaway here for you that maybe kind of surprised you going into the day?
I think noticing, again, about the staffing shortage, I think we all thought that, sometimes we think that it's going to evolve and get better on its own, but really looking at the picture and the data that was presented to us on Wednesday, really our only way out would be, having a big baby boomer era again, or, like I said, pivoting with your current business plans to make those successful. So it's not just going to fix itself.
Based on what you guys heard and discussed, what are some of the big things people in the leadership positions at organizations, what are they pivoting to? What are some of the pivoting options that you guys kind of talked about?
Well, one of the things that got brought up was recently, like with the Greene County Jail, when they didn't have the female jailers or, they had those folks go to different organizations, that were able to provide for them. So that was one way, that we had talked about how they were able to quickly pivot and provide that service that was needed here in Greene County. So just examples like that where you just maybe have to, change your plan of what you're used to doing.
Also, Ashley Geisler, healthcare, just like in the assisted living facility, same situation. We hear a lot, whether it be the news or just talked with folks, shortages. What was a big takeaway for you then, hearing some of those conversations, hearing some of those point of views?
Like Amanda said, that was probably my biggest eye-opener of the day, was thinking naively that we have all of these individuals in the community looking for work, so why can't we get them hired? But then seeing the stats and data that a lot of them are retiring or unfortunately passing away, and we just don't have that population to supplement that. So similar to what Amanda was saying about getting really creative, that's something we have to do in healthcare as well. We're not getting as many clinicians coming in. So how can we think outside the box and see those patients in maybe a different way? And that's something that we're trying to roll out and get more patients involved in, is our virtual health visits. So we have physicians that can see you where you don't have to come in, which is really helpful for me, example with having children, when they're sick, I don't want to take them from home. So having that opportunity to use that virtual health platform. And another unique standpoint is we can get providers to contribute to that outside of just SSM Health Monroe. We can partner with St. Louis or different ministries to help support that clinician shortage, but also provide the same exceptional experience for our patients.
It's a unique topic here, and I'm actually glad both of you ladies are here with us to talk about it. Ashley, now that you think about your conversations on Wednesday, thinking about it more here, and obviously this morning and are going through our chat, have you noticed that your job description, your title, that has really evolved here the last 3-4 years?
Oh, certainly. You have to be really creative and really think outside the box. So thinking of the impact that COVID had on our organization and what it did to our team members as well, you really have to get creative in creating that exceptional experience. So how can we take the team members that we have and really think outside the box? How can we get to our nursing staff who has difficulty coming up to lunch, which we started a new program in food service where they can order room service similar to what our patients can. So if they can't get away from the floor, they can call us, order their food, we'll bring it down for them. And even if it's setting it in their break room, so then they can later get that when a time that's convenient for them. And it also helps us because they don't need as many team members in my cafe to staff that. We've, reduced our hours and really focused more staffing on that aspect to just continue that mindfulness.
All right. Again, that's Ashley Geisler, Amanda Gerber with us here today as well. Let's transition here a little bit. Time flies by in these chats. It's amazing. I got 10 more questions we could go in here with you guys about your day so far from Wednesday. But let's go into the project aspect of it. Amanda, again, I'll start with you. Talk about what aspect of the project. I've heard a lot of different aspects here this year because you have such a large class. What part of the project you taken in?
Yeah, so our project is art in public spaces. So we've met many times with our group. We have a good plan in place. We've already met with our Monroe Main Street Design Committee, gotten their approval on our plan. We met again last night now that we've gotten the support with them. So we're ready to move ahead and hopefully be having an unveiling this spring. So,
all right, give us a little behind the scenes. Art in public spaces,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep. Yeah, so we wanted to be able to provide some type of art here on the Monroe Historical Square, something that could be interactive for the public as well. So not just, maybe something you would just walk by, but also could, take some pictures, some selfies, put your mark on our art. So, and bring in that Swiss culture as well. So that's everything that we're working on right now.
All right. Fantastic. I'm excited here for you guys, especially now you mentioned you're kind of working with Monroe Main Street. Ashley, I understand you're on a different side of the project. Talk about your aspect here.
So one thing that's really near and dear to me is sports. We're a really passionate sports family. So Corey Kundert actually came up with an idea of developing a youth sports awareness program in Greene County. We recognize that there's some opportunity that some family members who maybe are less fortunate, their children aren't participating in sports. So how can we reach them? What supplies can we give them? So we've discussed creating a website and kind of doing like what Prom for Pennies does, where we people can donate to us gently used sports equipment and people can come and get that. Or like my son who is 12, he's continuously growing. So maybe he only wears his cleats one time before he needs a new pair. So let's take that extra supplies that are in our house and get that out to the community. Also reaching individuals for different demographics, and maybe they don't know the sports opportunities that are available in our community. What sports do their kids like to play? Do we have enough resources for that in our community? So really working with the YMCA and the Parks Department to recognize those shortages and how can we help. Another thing we identified is the cost could sometimes be an issue. So how do we get families to know that there are grant opportunities available through the YMCA and through the Parks Department where maybe they don't even look into enrolling their children into those programs because the cost is an issue. I knew from myself, and I've been in this community for several years, I was not even aware of those grant opportunities. So if we have one resource where families who their children are interested in sports can go to and learn all of this and know that there's resources and know that there's supplies where they don't have to go out and get new, that's exactly what we're hopeful. Now, we're really, really creative in this group. We're really chatty. We're really enthusiastic. So sometimes we got to get reined back in because we could just build this and build this and build this and build this. So sometimes we're like, okay, we got to get our footing a little bit, and where do we start? So currently we're working on developing that website, and Corey Kundert also has a podcast, a sports podcast that he's been discussing it, and hopefully we can continue to get the word out.
A lot of caffeine in that group.
Yeah, I think we're just naturally enthusiastic about it.
Just giving you guys a little hard time there, Ashley, but I appreciate both you, Ashley, and Amanda, for coming in here. Last question for you guys. And Ashley, I'm going to have you go first on this one here. Amanda's always gone first here, so I got to switch things up here. Overall, taking a look at this program, Greene County Leaders, have you seen some of the things you guys have talked about on your Wednesday sessions each month, some of the principles, some of the different perspectives, the colors type of thing? Have you seen any or much of that being implemented? You seeing some of this translate into your day-to-day at work at SSM Health?
Yeah, definitely. I think as leaders, we're continuously growing. So one thing that Victoria shared with us is that our cup can never be full. We have to continuously leave space in that cup to learn and grow. So being able to, even after all these years in a leadership position, getting additional tools and additional learning, because just because we've done something a certain way for so long doesn't mean it's the best way. So learning new tools to be a leader, a more effective leader, also learning new tools to adapt to different personalities that are on my team, that just because I like to lead this way doesn't mean it's the most effective way for this team member based on how they feel. So it's been really awesome to be a part of this, and I encourage anybody who's looking to it or have thought about it to really enroll and also be able to capitalize on what it has to offer.
All right. Amanda, same question. All the things you guys have touched on, the visits, the leadership conversation, the principles, translating over there to Astor Assisted?
Yeah, a lot of the same things that Ashley said. We learn so much about ourselves, and then not only learning about ourselves, and we can learn about how others and how they work or think, and be able to collaborate better with your teams, not only in your business, but in the community. That also has helped us be able to grow, I think, as a community, and working on these different projects and working together. I mean, we have people that are in Greene County Leaders that are from all different, organizations. So learning about them and the different organizations, traveling around Greene County and learning what the needs are in those different, townships and towns. It's been amazing. We've learned so much, and I just feel like it's made our love and growth for the community even more than what it was when we started. So like Ashley said, I highly recommend anyone, if they ever want to get involved, this is the way to do it with Greene County Leaders.
Well, fantastic. I'm sure Victoria and Olivia appreciate those comments about everything that has gone on so far in this session. Amanda Gerber, Astor Assisted Living, and then Ashley Geisler, SSM Health Monroe Clinic. Can't thank you both enough for coming in here today. Enjoy the rest of your Greene County Leaders program, and of course, happy holidays.
Thank you.
You too. Thank you. Happy holidays.
That's Greene County Leaders Chat here for the month of December. Again, appreciate Ashley Geisler and Amanda Gerber coming in and joining us here today on WEKZ for To The Point.